Anyway, listen, Nikki Bush is joining us this morning and she's standing by with Papa Strydom to share some parenting tips on how different forms of play can actually be beneficial for a child's development stages.
So it's all things parenting on your feel-good breakfast show this morning. Now, research indicates that children learn best in an environment which allows them to explore, discover and play as well. Now, play is an important part of a developmentally appropriate childcare program which is closely tied to the development of cognitive, socio-emotional and physical behaviors. Now, but what exactly does it mean to play and why is it so important for young children? Now, a regular creative parenting expert, Nikki Bush, joins us in studio to answer that all-important question around playing. Nikki, lovely to have you again. I haven't sat down with you in a long while.
I know you, and it has been a while.
It has been a while. I love this topic. We're talking about play. I see it in my own two boys as well. You know, they play all of a sudden, but let's unpack it. What exactly does it mean for a child to play?
Ewan, it's about developing the curiosity in a child, helping them to engage with life, helping them to stimulate and grow their body and their brain in a very unstressful way, discovering the wonder about the world around them. That's really what play is about, but more than that. I spoke at the Theory and Practice of Play conference last week, which was under the auspices of Cotland's UNICEF South Africa and the Lego Foundation. And there's been such a turnaround in the thinking about early learning, preparing kids for formal school and therefore changing the matric results. You know, if we don't change the quality of the learner going into the system, we're not going to change what comes out at the end of the system. And in order to create kids who love learning, who are curious about the world, we need to engage them in play.
And this is where the parents' role come in, because the parents should be knowledgeable on this. And this is why you are here this morning to help us parents out. So what types of play should children be engaging in to really get or reap the physical and mental benefits as well?
Ewan, there's so many different kinds of play. It could be running and jumping and going up and down jungle gyms and trees. It could be fantasy play, dress up, using your imagination and creativity. It could be fine motor coordination, where we're now stimulating the little muscles of the fingers and the hands. And this is the precursor for handwriting. It could be playing with shapes and colours, because when we play with shape and colour, these are the building blocks for reading and writing as well. We're internalizing with our body line, shape. We're learning how to put things into sequences, because what happens when we read and we write? We put things in sequence. Okay, very important. But we don't sit children down and say, now we're going to learn about colour, shape, number. We just help them to learn incidentally through play.
Almost like a natural kind of thing. This is what you would be doing,
It's self-discovery. Okay, but we give them objects, but we also want them to make fun out of nothing.
Yes.
So it might be playing with sand and mud and water, or Play-Doh, or we might give them boxed toys as well, because all of this is stimulating the pathways in the brain.
All right, it's very, very interesting. So when my boy plays with his food and smushes it all over the place, that's good.
Well, when he does this, he's crossing his midlines, which integrates the left and right sides of the brain.
Look at that, you see, there's good in everything. I love it. So in the early stages, I mean, how much play is necessary, would you say, per day for a child to really develop well?
Hours and hours.
Hours and hours.
Pretty much, if they're not sleeping and they're not eating or having their nappy changed, they should be playing.
Okay.
And this is the thing, you know, because we're so busy today, we tend to try and contain children so that they can't move and get into mischief. But children learn through exploration, and we need to be encouraging them to move, because movement is the architect of the brain. And play is not something you do to a child. Play is something a child engages in himself. So some of what he does or she does will be directed by the parent or the preschool teacher, but a lot of it will be directed by the child.
That's it.
So leaving things around for a child to play with, toy box toys, I call them, like building blocks that they can't break, things like that. Leave things around for them to play with and discover, but then there are other times where we have a mummy or daddy moment where we sit down and we play with the child.
All right, well, very important. Well, we're going to continue with this discussion a little bit later on this morning with Nikki around the importance of play when it comes to your children.